Mega human settlements, let me give you the characteristics of mega human settlement, is a consolidation of residential areas that straddle the economic position of people. In mega human settlement projects, we are talking about bonded properties, rental stock, RDP housing, the finance, flexible finance-linked funded subsidies. And these tries to bring people from different walks of life. Our previous programs had their own inherent problems. If you build an RDP houses in one location, it translates into this. The people that receive RDPs are either unemployed or earn very low or are old. Now you are breeding a community of depressed communities. So there is no economic viability in that area. The buying power is simply not there. But when you come with mega projects, you are also bringing into the new establishments the buying power. Those who can afford bonded properties, they have a buying power. Those that are in the flea market, they are employed and they get a salary, they can buy. Those that are in the rental stock, it's because they are working and they have a buying power. And it changes the fortunes of that location. But at the heart of our mega project is more about building new cities, so that we build new cities that are smart. It means that we build schools, we build social infrastructure into those communities, including commercial sites, shopping centers, malls, and other commercial initiatives people can think of. So we're talking about viable communities that are not characterized by poverty and poverty and poverty, pockets and pockets of poverty, consolidation of poverty-stricken communities. So mega projects are a new phase. South Africa has to continue building new cities to change the face of the country. And that must be characterized by mixed typology of houses, where you have different income people staying or sharing the same space in terms of those developments.
What about re-engineering the existing townships?
We do that. Remember, let me give you an example about Alexandra. There's a project to do what we call Alexandra City, where we will be bringing the same concept of a mega project into Alexandra, where there'll be areas that are earmarked for bonded properties, there'll be rental stock, there'll be flea market, there'll be giveaways, and that means that you are building a community that has different elements, but you are also going to provide them with social infrastructure so that it becomes a viable community, not just a residential area. It will have areas that are designated for commercial activity, where you can have shopping centers, you can have malls, garages, restaurants, and so on. So it becomes different from what we have done in the past.
Now, apparently about 60% of the employable working age people in townships are unemployed, but aren't really going into the informal sector. Is there any way they can be encouraged to do that?
When you look at Cosmos, in Cosmos, we now have people that were unemployed who went to stay there. They realize there's an economic opportunity, because when you have 15,000 people staying in one area, they have all sorts of needs, from a corner shop to a filling station, restaurant, a franchise opportunity there. So we've seen new businesses emerging out of that. And now people can go down around the corner to buy what they need, to buy bread, to buy milk. They can drive down the road to fill a car Now, some of these people were not in business before, but because of that location and that any community has needs to fulfill, they've identified business opportunities. They've explored those and they're thriving.
What would you say are the main drivers of competitiveness in the province?
Well, competitiveness is about exploiting what works in the province. Gauteng is the economic hub of the country. And competitiveness of Gauteng is that it has a very sound skills base compared to most provinces. Also, it owes that to the fact that we have many universities located in Gauteng. And it attracts people from other provinces, and once they come to Gauteng, they don't want to leave. They don't want to go back where they come from. They look for opportunities in Gauteng. That adds to our competitive edge in terms of availability of skills and the diversity of skills. But it also it takes on what you have seen in terms of what the economy and what people need. As I've said, if you go to Cosmos, people have various needs, and that's what people are starting to exploit now. You also have, within close proximity, manufacturing, and people are starting to toy with ideas of taking certain of those concepts into where they're staying and looking at the availability of that market, and that increases competition within the province, in various areas of the province. So we are looking at, within the concept of township economies, what are the lessons we are learning from existing areas in terms of the viability of communities, and what we have seen in areas like Cosmos? How do we then formalize those and give support to through structures like the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller and so on? You know, if you have schools, for instance, what does it mean? You've got young people who, after school or during school, need to buy a cool drink. It means there's a need for a shop somewhere. They need for entertainment, you know, and, you know. And then you study the patterns of behavior, and that tells you how you can capitalize on the needs of those communities and build the necessary infrastructure as government in partnership with the private sector to meet those needs. Actually, in most of the mega projects, were inundated with people who want to build shopping centers that would cater for certain needs of those communities, which tells you that they've done their market research and they know it will work.